Hi, it's Mild Red Songbird, Mild Red Birdsong in New York City. You're looking at some work I've been doing, and I have a report for you on some findings I've made. As Einstein's brain, I'm able to figure out some things, and Socrates, a philosopher as well, and Guru Nanak. There you go, Guru Nanak, the mystic, the founder of Sikhism. That's me, and that's when I was Guru Nanak. Okay, this is Adam, the first entity, and this is Eve, the first ET. Okay, I'll begin. WJ, the Western Journal, CT Conservative Tribune online article. Fox segment goes off rails as Gutfeld tells Juan Williams, say that again, and I'll throw you off set. A segment on Fox News, The Five, became heated when Greg Gutfeld said he would throw Juan Williams off the set for saying Gutfeld is in the bunker for President Donald Trump. I decoded the word bunker. B-U-N, bun, kid, K. E for energy. E for entered. R for her. In the bun, a kid, energy, entered. Mild, forgot about this part. Mild red, her womb. As a matter of fact, 2 kids to that. Immaculate conception with the Creator, the Son, God, and the other baby comes from the Son of the Son, Jesus Christ. Govinda Singh, his song of Psalms, to me. Yea, though I walk through the shallow death, when you stop taking in breaths, I will fear no evil. Death is when you stop taking in breaths. I will fear no evil. Or, if I do have fear, I'll talk and share it away. Talk and share is a panacea. Meditation, guided meditation on the path of the masters used to be a panacea when people were allowed to leave their bodies and the system of births and deaths and return to their home in the sun. That's no longer true. The ocean of light, the pearly gates have been locked. I did a video on that, so I don't have to do that now. I can do videos. I can make this video about what I've just learned. Okay. The energy of the heart comes from what you hear, causes emotion. The ear. The heart itself is what you see. Your eyes. Real eyes. Real eyes. You hear me? Okay. The brain is the names and rules of everything gained. The brain, I'll say it again, is the names and rules of everything gained and lost. I didn't write that? Yeah, I did. Or lost. Stevie Wonder has no heart. He can't see. He's still a big deal, though he can't feel. No empathy. No way to feel sympathy. He's feeling grief for the name of his main attraction, a fraction of true satisfaction, just a distraction, by Uncle Tom, the master of con, Edwin Birdsong. We wrote that. I wrote the lyrics on an Edwin Birdsong album, What It Is, the Uncle Tom game. Uncle Tom was able to survive because he invented jive, his own brand. He had to. He had no real confidence. He had to. He had no real confidence. His was an illegal birth. His mother and father had no right to fuck. They did not declare in the presence of God, in spirit, the source. The Son, God, is omnipotent, which means of a deity having unlimited power, able to do anything. The synonym, C-I in order, New York, I mild red songbird. Okay. My heart is in order in New York. I'm mild red songbird, and I fit here. Knows, flows, slows, relaxes, glows, become effervescent decoded. Eve energy, her run, earnest energy. Okay, earnest means earned energy. Okay, sincere, warranted energy. Edwin, my first husband, told me he was afraid of God after he heard me selling Stevie Wonder to Johann Vagoda, the genius Jewish attorney, who, listening to and believing my recommendation, because I had been his wife in a past life, that of Stevie Wonder, recommendation of Stevie Wonder, soul singer, with Vagoda's help, could become a superstar and make him and his heirs rich. Now, I didn't say it like that. I was enthusiastic, bubbly, overflowing with excitement to think that Vagoda was going to get such a client as Stevie Wonder, and Stevie Wonder was going to get such a genius attorney as Vagoda. What a pairing, right? So I didn't know Stevie Wonder at the time. So Vagoda promptly, over the next 40 years or so, did that. He made Steve rich, and himself and his heirs. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. The first step was the ideas, my ideas. Ideas decoded. Identity, Eve as. She was an agent, that's what she was, selling her client as though he was her client, right? Actually, Steve had been Judas, and Mary had been the wife of Jesus Christ. But she was owing Steve because he had been Hitler. And Hitler punished the Jews who killed Jesus Christ. So she owed him, and she made him rich. She didn't know this. They were all unconscious. That's how we do what we do. We're unconscious of what we are doing. Charan Singh said if we knew what we were doing, we wouldn't do it. Had I known Stevie Wonder was Judas, I wouldn't have helped him get the $100 million that he has today. Okay? And I wouldn't have spent time fretting about why doesn't he pay me for what I did for him? And why did he stop the contract he had with Vagoda to give his heir, his wife, 5% of his earnings? Why did he do that? Had I known he was the betrayer, Judas, and he was Nero, and he was Hitler, had I known this is who Stevie Wonder was, I wouldn't have trusted him. I wouldn't have spent a minute trying to figure him out. Okay, but that wasn't the case. And I had to spend 40 years figuring out what's up with this guy. Right? Okay. What's up with the sky? SKY. It's where the Creator shows us himself. But we can't look at him or we'll go blind. Right, Stevie Wonder. Identity Eve's as an agent who never got paid. Whatever part the heart sees to be wholeheartedly, when I fall in love, I'll love you forever. Where there's a will, L for will, there's a way. These are two songs sang by Adam. I showed you a picture of Adam, who's singing here. Who's loving you, Eve? Okay, so I know that because I read energy. Alright, I can show you in writing sometime the way I read energy in case you don't take out my word. So Adam, Michael Bublé sings, when I fall in love, it'll be forever. He also sings, I'll love you forever. So I just put the songs together because it rang true for me to do such a thing. When I fall in love, says Michael Bublé, I'll love you forever. Okay? And when you feel that same way too, is when I fall in love with you. Now this is a conversation, or this is a declaration of love, or the stipulation of love that Adam is giving Eve over the air. Okay. My marriage to my first husband, Edwin Birdsong, ended when he expected me to become a part of his harem. Later, after our divorce, Edwin asked me if I thought he should become the part of a pimp. No, said I. No, what's that word? Said, yeah, that's no, said, like his God's father had been. His God was Stevie Wonder, and Stevie Wonder's father had been a pimp. If I had agreed to be a part of Edwin's harem, then he would have pimped me out. You see, that question proved it. That was on his mind. Because his God, we follow our gods, and he was just doing what Steve's family was about. Pimps and prostitutes. Present. P for present. I'm important. IMP for important, Edwin. I got answers to straighten out the world in my head. Edwin made Stevie his God because my praises sold him the belief that Steve is great. Edwin was born believing he is bad because his parents broke the moral code and had no sex out of wedlock is the rule. So they where am I? I got lost when I moved the paper. No sex out of wedlock. Here it is. So there's no doubt as to who's the father of the baby is. Edwin was scared of God. He was scared God would kill him for being bad. He switched from me as his God because he didn't believe in Jesus Christ. He thought the Bible was a Jewish book and had nothing to do with him, that the Jews were trying to pull a fast one because they were smart. Okay, so he switched from me as his God, me, his wife, D. Michelle Birdsong, to a blind God. Edwin couldn't outfox me because I could see. I was a fox. Sharp, pretty girl. Alarm coming. Oh, wait a minute. After his death, he's come crawling back to me, asking me to clean up the mess he left. Owing me what he was too greedy to share with me, because Steve is so greedy he doesn't share with the people who helped him get there, like Vagoda, okay, and like me. Everybody knows the left is a mess. Took the fathers from the black homes in the 60s. As Stevie Wonder, Judas took Christ's wife, Mary's husband and father, back from Beethoven, Shakespeare, Einstein, some of my identities. Okay, so that's, should I let it go? I think I've told you enough for one video. That's a lot. I put a lot on you. So I'm going to close this video, and the other information I have, I'll put on subsequent videos. Alright? This is Mild Red Songbird. This is Muhammad's book. His name is Jordan Peterson, This Life. 12 Rules for Life. An Antidote to Chaos. And he was also Nietzsche, the genius who said God is dead. God's not dead. I talked to God. He's not. More than once I talked to him, and he talked back to me. And he gave me. I'll just tell you some of the things he said to me. Okay, I'm talking about God, the Son, the truth. He told me, you are beautiful. Now, he's my father. I should first tell you that he's my father. Okay, he's farther than most fathers because he's up in the sky, but he's still my father. He said, my father said to me, you are beautiful, which amazed me because I broke my teeth when I bit into an apple, a hard apple. We weren't supposed to eat the apples. We were supposed to eat the strawberries. I was strawberry shortcake. That's why I knew. Soft. You are my star. Isn't that wonderful? The star says you are my star. Wow. My horoscope said once, hitch your wagon to a star and you'll become one. And this is the truth. That's what happened. He said, I'm his star. And then he told me, do not worry. My mother worried, and she was nervous. All when I was growing up. She wouldn't answer questions. She worked very hard, a grueling job, and made very little money, but she didn't want to be the doctor, the colored doctor's mistress. She was the most beautiful woman ever to live in Clarksville, Tennessee, colored or white, according to some eyewitnesses. But she didn't want to sell her body. She wanted to give her daughters a clean mother. Not like, see that? Not like Stevie Wonder's mother was a prostitute. Okay, so I knew my mother was some kind of saint. Turns out she was a projection of Baba Jamal Singh Ji, who was the perfect living master, Christ's conscience at the Dera in the Punjab in India. One of the secret saints on the earth is what I'm trying to say. Okay, that was my mother's projection. I knew she was a saint. Because what human being is going to choose, what woman, a beautiful, smart, was the valedictorian of her class, what beautiful, smart woman is going to choose to be a slave away in a dry cleaner, standing on your feet all day from 7 to 5, making 2.5 cents a shirt, just to be a righteous role model for your daughters? Who does that? You know, even as a child, I knew that was extraordinary. Turns out she was a projection of a saint, like I said, okay? She was also Shirley Temple Black, and she was also Uncle Sam, and she was Rosie the Riveter, Did I say who she was? And she was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, who was an outcast because he had a red nose. And my mother was an outcast because she was light-skinned in a dark-skinned world, in the color community. And she was smart.